All right. Hey guys, welcome back. So, this video is going to be the start of our study on the 7 deadly sins. So, those of you who don't know what the 7 deadly sins are, it is pride, lust, envy, wrath, sloth, gluttony, and greed. So, we're going to start off with pride because I feel like that this is one of the more common sins that we commit out of those 7. So when we think of pride, we often think of a character who is just so full of themselves and they're just so arrogant. And this is pride. That is pride. But it's such an extreme that we don't normally, or we don't see that kind of pridefulness very often in our lives. Um, so the pride that we have and the pride that we see is so much smaller than that. It's even just thinking that you're better at something than someone else's. That is pride. Um, and it's these small thoughts that really lead in and can progress into those bigger, more extreme scenarios. So our first passage, it's Proverbs chapter 16. It's going to be verse 18 and 19. It says, "The simple inherit folly, but the..." Oh, sorry, that was not 16. That was 15. Yeah, 16. My bad. It is 16, 18. "Pride goes before destruction, and a haughty spirit before a fall. It is better to be of a lowly spirit than it is better to be of a lowly spirit with the poor than to divide the spoil with the proud." So here it says that with a haughty spirit. The word haughty is a synonym for arrogant, and so that's basically saying that with pride, pride comes with an arrogant spirit, and it comes before destruction and the fall. So that means that basically all we get from being prideful is destruction that will cause us to fall. And then verse 19 tells us that it's better to be with the poor than to be with the proud. And this really kind of points out just how much God doesn't like pridefulness, because it says that it's better to have a spirit with the poor than to be spoiled with the proud. So our second passage is going to be yet again from James, and it's going to be James 4 verse 6. And it says, "But he gives more grace. Therefore it says, God opposes the proud, but gives grace to the humble." So, as always, I kind of say this in basically every single video, that James has a lot of powerful verses in it. It's a very powerful book, and I think that all of us should look into it. It's something that I do plan on diving into the future. And then here it tells us that God opposes or goes against the proud and gives grace to the humble. So for God to just like straight up oppose something, to go against it completely, it must be pretty bad if God is doing that. But it also says that he gives grace to the humble. So to be humble, it means to be modest and respectful, to care for others above yourself. So if we do that, if we are modest and respectful and care for others without being prideful, then God will give us grace. Yeah, so then our final passage is going to be in Proverbs again. This time it is going to be Proverbs chapter 11, verses 1 through 3. It says, "A false balance is an abomination to the Lord, but a just weight in his delight. When pride comes, then comes disgrace, but with the humble is wisdom. The integrity of the upright guides them, but the crookedness of the treacherous destroys them." So those verses, they really show us, you know, it shows us that pride and false balance are things that God does not like. Verse 1, it says that false balance is an abomination to the Lord. So an abomination, it means it's something that causes disgust or hatred. So then that means that verse 1 is saying that a false balance is something that causes disgust or hatred to the Lord. Um, and then verse 2 says that pride comes with disgrace. And then in verse 3 it says the crookedness of the treacherous destroys them. So these two verses, verses 2 and 3, they tell us that pride really does not have any upsides at all in the eyes of the Lord. Because all that it brings is going to be disgrace, and that will destroy you. It brings disgrace, destruction, and there's really nothing good that comes from it at all. But it also says that wisdom comes with the humble, and the integrity of the upright guides them. So when you are humble, when you have respect, you're modest, that those will bring you wisdom. And then the integrity of the upright guides them. That means, to me anyway, that the willpower, or the will to keep going, of the upright, which I guess would also mean of the righteous, it will keep them, will guide them. So if you surround yourself with people who are upright and who are willing to do what it takes to continue to be righteous, and then also stay humble, uh, respect others, be modest, and if you do those, good things will come to you. God will give you grace. He will just provide for you good things that hopefully will be good in your life. So that's pretty much it for today. So thank you guys for watching, and stay tuned to the next one. Glory to God.